Hey guys, it's Niklas here from upgradeToLife.com, and in this video we are going to talk about worrying if you did enough, how to stop overcomplicating it. I see many people continuously worry about if there is another technique out there that they haven't tried before, another method that they should apply, another approach that is maybe new, that is finally going to solve their problems. But what some people don't realize is that because they constantly worry about if they are doing enough and if they're doing it right, they actually just stay in the state of not doing it right. Therefore, they see no results, they stay stuck, they make the process longer and more complicated. And that is what I want to solve with this video. Right, before I jump in, a quick side note, if you want to learn more about that, the law of assumption, how to manifest the right way, step by step, and live a self-empowered life where you don't blame circumstances or other people, then I highly recommend you check out my free masterclass. That's the first link in the description. And also, if you want to work with me to take things to the next level, have me on your side, have a solid system that you can follow and be surrounded by like-minded people, you can apply for a free consultation call to figure out if we are a good fit to work in my program. That's the second link in the description. And with that, I really right now want to talk about this topic. That is really important. So in regards to that, I summarized and I included right here some of the videos that I did on my channel that can help you when we're talking about worries or doubts and not knowing exactly what to do. Then I have some videos on this, right? I have a video on letting go, on doubt versus faith, dealing with negative thoughts, don't be double-minded, don't worrying about the how and when things are manifesting, and how to reframe your doubts and fears so that they no longer be an issue. So you can check those out. I will link all of those 6 videos also in the video description, and if you like, check them out. If not, just watch this video. So usually people say things like this. They say, okay, I imagine something that implies the fulfillment of my goal, but I constantly feel like I have to imagine again or do more work to attain my goal. Or people ask questions such as, am I doing my static into sleep right, like my sets? Are my visualizations vivid enough? Are my beliefs strong enough? How often should I do this? What if this happened? Is this a sign? Right? And they really are not sure, am I doing it right? Is there something missing? Why is this person getting success but not me? And they create this loop for themselves and they don't even realize it. That's why I'm here right now to tell you that please be aware of this. If you ask those questions, you actually just reaffirm that there is something missing, that you're doing it wrong, and therefore you stay stuck. And so let's look at the main manifestation process again, so that we can then uncover the critical point and then we can then dissolve this. So usually all starts, as you know, with a desire, right? It all starts with you have a new desire, you want to be something else, you want to experience something else or be a different version of yourself, embody something else, you want this desire, you have this goal. This is the starting point, right? There is something new that you want to experience. And then the next step, when we are keeping it mainly at Neville's core teachings, is to create a scene that implies fulfillment, right? What would happen if you already have your goal? Who would congratulate you? What would you see? What would you feel? What would you touch? What would you experience if the goal is already true? And then we have this imaginative experience of that, right? I have a video called How to Imagine Correctly. I will link this here. This explains this phase in an even better and detailed way. So we have a desire, we create a scene that implies fulfillment, we imagine that. Some people, they like to, instead of imagine a scene and having this imaginative experience, they do affirmations. That's okay if it resonates with you, if it makes you feel good, if it helps you, do it. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm more a fan of keeping it simple and affirmations can also be simple, but I'm a big fan of staying true and staying consistent with those fundamentals and this fundamental process. And you can do affirmations, don't get me wrong. I also sometimes like to do them, but I then do them automatically from the state of, of course that's me. Yeah, of course I make this amount per month. Yes, of course I'm successful. Yes, of course this and that. But I'm not forcing that in order to manifest and do it from a lax state. Huge difference, okay? So you can use actually whatever technique or method applies for you. That's just the usual Neville Goddard way, okay? Desire, what implies we have it, imaginative experience of that desire. And then because we have this imaginative experience, we gain this faith, we gain this knowledge, this wisdom, this relief that, oh yeah, like it already is so, we are already that, we already have that. We gain this faith through this imaginative experience. Therefore, we move into the Sabbath, into this phase of stillness where there is no more work, no more desire, no more need to do anything, because we are it, like it's done, that's it, right? And then through the bridge of events, there is the externalization of the desired state. There is the manifestation of our goal. That's like just, again, summarize the most fundamental process. And again, you can do techniques that resonate with you most, like I remember when, or isn't it wonderful, or revision, or even saying affirmations or script. You can do that, but it should feel good for you. It should feel easy for you, and it should help you to gain faith that this is already done, that you are already in your desired internal state. The easiest way, in my opinion, is when you follow this way. That's how I got the most results. And now the question is, okay, in which kind of phase does it happen that people worry if they did enough? So that's usually at this point right here, right? In the desire phase, there is no problem. Then they do their techniques, all right. But in between here, that's where the problems arise, right? People then lose faith, and then maybe they have a little bit of faith, and then they come back. Maybe they even went until this point where they felt really relieved, really relaxed, but after some days, the desire came back, and they were here again, and they worry, oh, like, what is there more need to do? I did all of this already. I did the techniques. I imagined the scene, but what is there more I have to do? This usually happens like in the middle, like here. And so here are my personal tips that help me to then revert myself back to know that it's done, and to just like, again, shift back into my desired state so that it then eventually manifested. And those are also tips based on what helped my clients and what they used to manifest their goals. So first of all, really important, it may sound like a cliche or like that's too easy to, like there need to be more. There need to be more tips, but that's the most fundamental one, is to actually practice and apply the law of assumption to build trust in yourself. That's what I'm telling everyone. That's also what Neville said. You can't have this like mampy-wampy approach where you do this here once a year, once a month, and then that's it. It should actually be your lifestyle. And you should apply it and test it to prove to yourself that it does work, that imagining creates reality, that you're the operant power, that your internal state is reflected back to you, that everyone is yourself pushed out, all of that, right? Apply it and test it. That's my first tip. And by doing that, you will actually gain this trust. I mean, only having the theory, that's the knowledge, and that's good, but that's not really valuable. But applied knowledge becomes over time wisdom, where you know, wow, like that's how reality, that's how consciousness, that's how life, that's how manifesting works. So start to apply it. It is really important, and I want to point this out clearly. Like if you don't apply, you don't get results. So, I mean, yeah, you may get results, but they won't be pleasant because you applied unconsciously. But start to apply it consciously so that you prove to yourself that you can choose the desired circumstances that you would like to encounter in your life. The second thing is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Keep this mindset in your head. So why don't you tackle it as you tackled other manifestations before? There are some people that manifested already successes in this and this and this area, and then they come to one area where they always think, oh, did I do enough? Is there more I have to do? But then, like, why don't you tackle it the same way as you manifest it in all your other areas, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. How you manifest in one area is how you manifest in all areas. There is no different strategy. There is no different method or different secret. It always works. So this can also help you, right? If you just use the same approach you used for other things that you have already manifested before. Also, learn to reduce and bypass resistance by realizing that there is no lag. Okay, because oftentimes the problems and the doubts and worries and fears, they arise because people are identified with lag again. People again think that something is missing, something is not here yet, they have to do more. But they don't realize that within consciousness, which is their true self, which is your true self, which is our all true self, what I am, our awareness of being, this infinite consciousness in which all possibilities do exist right now, timelessly and ever present. There are infinite possibilities, which means the things that you want is already done. That's basically the reminder that we want to remind of us again at this point, right? We reduce and we bypass the resistance of thinking that we need to do more and work harder when we realize that there is no lack. Lack is actually the main cause of suffering when people think that they're lacking something. Let me ask you this, right? Are you right now lacking a baseball? You will say yes. I'm sure that most of you guys, there is not a baseball that is right here, right? That you have on your desk or on your bed or on your chair. So you're missing and you're lacking a baseball. But did you notice this? Did you really feel the lack? No, because you don't worry about that. But actually, if you can imagine that, like this baseball is right there on your desk. You can feel it in your hand. You can smell it. You can touch it. This is also one of the experiments that Neville often did with his students to explain to them that everything is here right now. You can smell a rose right now. Even though it's lacking from your physical experience, it still is there. It is in existence. It already is real and here. And again, you can bypass this lack and don't worry if you need to do more, if you realize that everything is already there and within your consciousness. Okay, it's sometimes hard to grasp if you're new to this or if you are not like that deep or if you're at the beginning of this journey, but within this, our true self, right? Within our awareness of being, there are infinite possibilities. You can be aware of being broke, you can be aware of being healthy, wealthy. There are infinite things that you can be aware of, and they all do exist, they're all there, and you can choose them. You don't, from a physical point, you don't create anything new, you don't create your reality, you choose something that is already there, you occupy it, and then it's being externalized. So it looks like that you created that circumstance, but it's more so like that you shifted into that state that then expresses the circumstance. Okay? I went a little bit overboard right now, but I just want you to realize that you can bypass the resistance if you realize that actually, from a bigger point of view, from consciousness point of view, there is absolutely no lack. Nothing is lacking from your life. Nothing. Also, come back to the first principle. Whenever you feel, oh, there's more to do and this and that, and you all like your head starts and the mind comes on and this and that. Relax, right? Come back to the first principle. Be still and know that I am. That's the first principle. Be still and know that you are. That your awareness of being is God. That you are therefore God because your awareness of being and you are one. So be still and know. Remember that, wait a second, creation is finished. Every possibility is already there. Why do I worry about so much about this? Like, it is already in existence. It is already there for me. I can imagine it, which means it's done, it's true, it's real. I just have to shift into the state of knowing that, of being this desired version of myself. Also remember, there is nothing outside of your consciousness, so there is nothing against you, there is no one blaming you, accusing you, there is no competition, there is nothing that is outside of consciousness. Everything is within consciousness. Everything is consciousness. So there's no external entity or God that might be against you. So consciously imagine the end again, right? If you worry if you did enough, so you reach the state of faith and the state of stillness where you felt this relief, but then the desire came up again within you, just go back in your imagination, literally, just consciously imagine the end again, bathe yourself in that imaginative experience again, and rejoice yourself in the knowing that it is already done. That's literally the easiest thing that you can do, which helped me the most. So I had a desire, I imagined something that implies the fulfillment, done, boom, relaxed, faith, everything good. Went about my life, then the desire came up again. But instead of worrying and fearing and thinking I have to go on YouTube again and find the next video and there's the next solution to that, I just went into the state again to sleep and imagined that end again. And therefore I was identified with this end state again, and there's nothing left that I had to do, and the desire manifested just by doing that. So you see, it's really simple. You don't have to worry about that. You just have to go back to what you already did before and apply it again, right? The time that it takes for your goal to manifest is how soon it does feel natural to you. I made a video called The Feeling of Naturalness. I will link this here, because when you reach this, then you are in a state of stillness. Neville calls it the Sabbath. That is when you are at peace and you know it's done. No more work to do. And then from this state, it manifests really effortlessly, right? Those are my tips. I hope they helped you. I hope by now you can stop worrying about if you did enough, because trust me, you did enough. You are doing it the right way. This is also a state, or like an affirmation that you can do, or like a state that you should occupy, that of course you're always doing it the right way. Why should you doing it wrong? You're the operant power. Don't forget that. So if you have questions, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you really much for watching, guys. I appreciate your support and your feedback in the comments. Talk to you in the next video. See you guys. Bye.